What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel. I am Lonnie from Flight Sim Gaming. What's going on, Pavel? Arctis, hello, hello. What's going on, ladies and gents? We are chilling. We are doing the chilling. We're down on the ground in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. We're flying today with Sky High Dominicana in the Flight Sim Studio E-JETS E190. It's a real flight flown. Wait, I'm sorry. We're flying Santo Domingo over to Bonaire. I think the city is Crowlandike or something like that. And it's a real flight flown by Sky High. It's a nice little short flight. You know, it's about an hour long. Some good scenery out here, too. I think Bravo Aerospace does this scenery here. And then out at Flamingo International and Bonaire. I believe it's done by Aerosoft. So a lot of good scenery out here in the Caribbean for sure. Not really a flight that you see too often, you know, in the Microsoft Flight Sim community. So I figured we'd go ahead and do that. Now, I know I did a poll. We're going to be doing Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 probably Sunday onwards. I did some stream testing on my end to make sure my aircraft works and scenery works and things like that. And everything, you know, relatively went smooth. So I'm going to give a green light on that, and we're going to give that one a go. We're going to be flying out in Europe on Sunday when we do giveaway number 4. I think tomorrow night I got some Southwest ops I want to do coming out of Dallas. That's kind of what we got in store. Apologize for no stream last night. Had some technical difficulties here at home, but other than that, all is well. It's pretty shitty out here. It started to rain again in Santo Domingo. It wasn't raining before. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the live stream. It should be a fun one today. A nice short one. Sam Guilford, what's going on? Good afternoon. Sorry I haven't been able to watch your streams. I've been busy with work. How are you? Sam, I'm doing fantastic. Good to see you. And all good. If you can't tune into the streams, don't worry. Every stream gets uploaded. Apchi, hello. Appreciate you tuning in. Every stream gets uploaded, even if you can't see it. Live, it's okay. You know, it gets posted. It's all there. Hopefully you'll be in the next giveaway, Sam. I don't think you were there last Sunday. So... But yeah, good fun flying on Sunday, and we're, like I said, back in E190. I think I've maybe taken this aircraft out for a spin once on a live stream. I'm not, this aircraft, you know, prior to the previous updates, it landed a little bit aggressively for me compared to the E170 stuff, variants, I mean. But I've already done this flight. Everything looks pretty well. There's a little bit of issues with the cargo doors kind of opening and closing on its own. In some cases, it doesn't open. In some cases, it doesn't close. Hopefully, we're not taking off with an open cargo door today. Right now, there is a patch or a hot fix in the works by Flight Sim Studios, but nothing's been released. So, you know, I've noticed it on the turnarounds where it wasn't working. You know, turning back around into Santo Domingo, we might have that issue. Is that a broom kind of floating in the background there? That's pretty funny. It's a good scenery, too, in Santo Domingo, done by Bravo Aerospace. A couple things I wish they didn't do. They have some, you know, some static, I guess, people walking the apron and things like that, and it looks like it's something out of, like, a 1980s game. You know what I mean? It's super glitchy. I hope they get rid of that. But performance is pretty good. I was pissed I missed the Jacksonville flight with the E-JETS E175. All good, my man. All good. We'll definitely be back out in Jacksonville. It's pretty good scenery out there. Yeah, we did a little bit of a shortcut. We kind of vectored ourselves into Jacksonville. I wasn't keen on flying that approach just because this aircraft doesn't really draw in the waypoints correctly in the flight plan itself. So we kind of vectored ourselves in. I apologize if we kind of butchered that one. But anyways, ladies and gents, let's get this thing going. I already got the aircraft sort of all powered up here. I'm gonna turn up some sounds for the time being, and let's go ahead. Request the boarding. So like I said, some of these doors, these cargo doors I'm having issues with, but let's get everything open. Let's make sure that it opens first. I don't think these doors are gonna cooperate with me today, unfortunately. Let's see what happens. Sometimes they open up on its own when, what the hell did I just do? How do I get rid of that? When, the boarding process starts, and we got no cargo doors at the moment. One of the challenges with this aircraft, it's, you know, not the end of the world to have these not working. Let's see if I can get them open. Maybe not. If we can't get them open, even better. I don't have to worry. And for the buzzing sounds, if it's going to keep yapping at me, I'm going to go ahead and turn the sounds down for GSX. This way, it's not really disturbing any of the other things we got going on. We'll come over to the fit details here. We'll import the SimBrief flight plan. And we'll at least get this part of the flight set up here. We're departing off of runway 35 on the... I believe it's going to be on the Kuru to Lima departure. So flaps 5, it's not dry, it's clearly raining, it's wet. You can see the winds are 060 at 1, outside temps 26, altimeter QNH 294, but it's actually QNH 1013. Let's go ahead and calculate, and we'll go ahead and get all these things sort of set up here. And this door now closed, which, very interesting. Why this door would sort of close. Let me see if I can open up these guys. Don't think those guys are going to work. No big deal. Set up a box here. Come over to the route tab here. So we're going Santo Domingo to Flamingo International in Crowland-Dyke, Bonaire. Today's call sign is going to be Sky High. 960. We'll send that off. And we'll go ahead and apply that. Did you hear about any builds backtracking on their A350 only for Flight Sim 24? Now they're making it for both sims. I wonder if that will delay the launch of it. Probably. Probably, or maybe, you know, that's sort of the game plan that they have going right now because it's not ready to be released. I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. But hopefully, you know, is it still planned to come out at the end of the year? I heard it was planned to come out at the end of the year, but you really never know. You know what I mean? Tyler Rocks, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in. Come over to the departure tab here. We're going to be departing off of runway 35 on the Caru to Lima departure. And it actually draws in the departure pretty nicely. We're going to be planning the RNAV 10 approach coming into Flamingo International. And we're going to go Emona. And SimBrief told us it's going to be on the Caru 1 November arrival. Have a look at my waypoints, because sometimes things get a little bit messy. And that's about it. Very short flight. About an hour and 6 minutes total. You feel so sick right now, to be honest. Everybody's been getting sick lately. I'm coming off of a 2-week sickness myself. I'm still a little bit, you know, congested and that sort of stuff. But hopefully you will feel better soon. Let's go up to the Perf Init tab here. We'll plug in some numbers. We're going to get our taxi fuel and landing fuel. I think it's just our taxi fuels. We'll plug that in. Beautiful. We're cruising up to 330 today. Excuse me. The wind's 263 at 16. That's the average cruise winds. We got our zero fuel weight bugged in there. Our CG's all bugged in, and our fuel 9,092. I believe this is in pounds. It's only like 4,000 kilograms or something like that. We'll go to the takeoff data set menu, and let's have a look and see what we are being told. So it's going to be takeoff 1 departure, which we got that set. There is no flex. 26 degrees currently. We'll go to FMS takeoff page, and we'll go to page number 1 on the takeoff in it. And if my eyes are correctly heading, 352 is runway heading. And conditions are going to be wet. And the winds are 060. They're calm at the moment. Beautiful. They're calm at the moment. So we'll go ahead and we'll plug that in. Come over to page number 2. We'll come over to the takeoff tab here. And our V-speed's 2731.43. And 186. And I believe in the DR, trans level is 17,000. And in Bonaire, I believe it's 2,500 feet. Okay. Okay, I think it's a little bit broken. That's fine. We're not going to worry about that. And we'll continue on here. Now, I'm getting a little bit of stutters here. I think it's just because of the weather. Kind of hate when there's stutters. Not a big fan of it. What did I say our heading was? 352. And we're going to just cruise right up to 33,000 feet. According to the departure, there is no altitude restrictions. I'm not flying on any type of network this afternoon. 1003 is going to be our altimeter. We'll come upstairs here. Let's get that APU started. Boarding is almost complete. Trying to get over this cold myself. It's a little prolonged. We're going on a couple weeks now. I think boarding is complete. We don't have any cargo doors open. We're not going to be taking off with any doors open. Looks like the APU has come alive. Let's go ahead and close these doors. And GPU coming off. Electric pumps coming on. I don't know what I just pressed. I didn't mean to press that. Departure clearance requested. A little bit bugged. Let me see if I can close the doors through here. And open the doors through here. I don't think I can. Kind of sucks. We'll just go ahead and restart the Quadrant. Pain in the ass, I'm not gonna lie. Holy smokes. Hopefully now GSX won't be yapping at us. I got a flight booked for Vancouver, BC for this summer. I'm flying via Toronto on Porter on their E190 E2s. Very cool, man. Yep, they're using those aircrafts for some long haul flights. They're going out to places like Vegas, I believe. They're going out to LA. Already broke the stream. Good stuff, good stuff. Beautiful. Prepare for pushback. We're back. Beacon lights on. We got our electric pumps on. Very nice. Let me see my trims. 2.1. Let's go ahead and set that guy. It's like a 4-hour flight, I believe. Something like that, yeah. 4.5-ish hour flight. Gotta say, though, those E190 E2s, those engines look absolutely fucking massive. They look massive on that aircraft. Can't get rid of this cough, man. I'm telling you. There's also another bug with this aircraft, too. And starting up engine number 1 is a bit of a challenge. For whatever reason, it starts and then it shuts off. In case some of you wondering if there's any issues with it. I'm going to use the autosave quick edit pushback. Brake's coming off. Let's go ahead and start up engine number 2. See what happens. Those turbofan Pratt & Whitney engines are really big compared to the airplane. They look like mini GE90 engines. Dude, I'm telling you, man, they're just like these big fucking... on this tiny little aircraft. What's going on, Airborne? Appreciate you tuning in. Hope all is well. Just want to note, no ILS approaches on any of these legs today. Everything's going to be an R&P approach. We'll do our best to make sure we adhere by some of the rules and restrictions given in the charts. This aircraft doesn't fly an RNAV approach. You're going to have to manually set your altitude and then change your either your vertical speed or your glide path angle. And I'm going to go ahead and start up engine number 1, and it should start for a second and then kick back down. We're almost at 1,600 subs. Somebody's playing with my feelings. I don't know who the f it is. They keep subbing and unsubbing, whoever that is. It's all good, but yeah, we've hit 1,600 subs 2 weeks ago. Guess that is how it can fly so far because of the new engine type. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why it's like, you know, I'm sure you could probably fly it across the Atlantic. Parking brakes coming on. Okay, maybe engine number 1's not going to shut down. Sending my live stream from Greece to Egypt. Used VATSIM for the first time, and it was great with so many mistakes made by me. It's a work in progress, man. Hopefully they didn't yell at you. I just watched a YouTube short not too long ago. One of the VATSIM controllers in the UK just rage quit. He was upset. Something. I don't fucking know. I'm not a really big VATSIM user. I use it. We got like probably close to 500 to 1,000 hours on it, but I'm not a really big VATSIM user. APU coming off. Taxi lights coming on. We're going to go flaps 1. Appreciate everybody tuning in today. Yes, we're doing giveaway number 4 on Sunday. We're going to be in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. We're going to give her a go. I know Captain Canada last night crashed in the E300, but I'm planning on doing some Airbus ops starting Sunday. Specifically, probably the A319. And then we'll try to figure out some compatible 2024 scenery. A lot of scenery is becoming compatible. A lot of scenery also that don't require an update, which I'm forever grateful for. I felt bad for the London and Dubai controllers on the A380 launch day. Yeah, man. Probably was one hell of a launch. No, they did yell at me, but very politely. They told me in the message, no readback required. Got you. Auto brake over to RTO. Our APU spooling down. We're going to taxi to runway 35 via. We're going to go Delta Juliet and Golf. We'll hold short of the runway. Pretty straightforward. Parking brake coming off. And this aircraft, she just wants to go. Takeoff config.
Takeoff, okay.
Another thing I think Flight Sim Studios needs to fix is how much this aircraft rolls at idle. I don't know if this is how it is in the real world. I don't think so, to be honest with you, but it's a little bit aggressive. They just got to tune it down just a little bit. We're already doing 15 knots. This thing, I could probably take it up to 100 knots and take off at idle. Pretty much, man. We're going to be doing a live stream tomorrow evening. I think the flight that I have picked, we're going to be flying Houston. I don't know if it's Houston Hobby or if I'm going to fly Dallas. I think it's Dallas Love Field we're going to take off from. And we're headed up to, I think, Nashville. We're going to fly the iFly Max 8 with Southwest. That's what I got planned. We'll do that flight on VATSIM. You need like a 15,000 foot long runway for that. Probably. but honestly, like, I'm holding the brakes right now. If I let, we're gonna go down Juliet. Just watch how it's just gonna go up to 100. I'm off the brakes. Just so you're aware. We're pretty much coming up on 25 knots. If this was Microsoft Flight Sim career mode, they would ding us for taxi speed. It's ridiculous. I guess one of the good things, though, this departure should be pretty textbook as the winds are calm. But did you watch my live stream? I am sorry for my speaking skill because I'm a little bit slow in English. It's all good, man. You sounded perfectly fine. A little bit of a bump. I noticed there's a big bump in this taxiway. I noticed there's a big bump on the runway, too. Something maybe Bravo Aerospace could probably fix. Bravo Aerospace, for those of you wondering, I think this is their only scenery. They got the Marketplace 787 for sale. A lot of streamers are telling me to fly it. I just don't know, man. I just don't know. It's going to get down to 31 Fahrenheit this Saturday. We have some cold air from where your location is invading me. So actually, if I look out the window, it's snowing right now. I woke up this morning with like 5 or 7 centimeters on the ground. I had to shovel everything out before the missus took the kids to school. Salted up everything. I apologize, you know, for the cold air coming down from good old Canada. I would have to argue, though, I think the cold air is coming from the Rocky Mountains in Denver. Strobe lights coming on, inspection lights, logo lights, taxi lights coming off. Let's get this bird up in the air. Let's head over to Crowlin-Dyke, Bonaire, Flamingo International. Cool little place. It's part of the ABC Islands out there in the Caribbean, just off the coast of Venezuela. You got Bonaire, so I think it's Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, for those of you wondering. I think Crowlin-Dyke is I think it's a Dutch island, one of the Dutch colony islands. I could be wrong. Landing lights coming on, ladies and gents. Get the fudge out of here. Let's head over to Bonaire. Throttle's up, 40. Toga set. What's going on, Talal? Appreciate you tuning in, man. I'm at work, but I'm just gonna say hi quickly. Hey, no worries. Go make that bread, brother. Go make that bread. 80 knots. 80 knots checked.
Good one. Rotate.
Oh, shit.
Positive brake.
You're going up. And flight level change is in. And we're cruising, ladies and gents. We're cruising. And nav mode is set. See if we can get a shot out the window here. Oof. Sorry, I like to fly. Bonaire is near Aruba, yep. It's part of the ABC Islands. And we're going flaps clean. Bonaire is like one of the world's best scuba diving spots when it comes to coral reef. I believe it's a toss-up between Belize and Bonaire, just for some of you wondering. Some of you scuba diver freaks out there. Let's go ahead and we'll start that beautiful right turn. Oh, I love how this aircraft flies. You know what I mean? I want some of the other streamers to enjoy this aircraft like I do. Follow those flight directors. We're climbing. It's actually not that bumpy coming out of here considering the weather. It should make for a nice arrival coming into Santo Domingo. One of the best airports currently in the DR and the simulator. Oh, flight director's playing tricks on me. Fucker. Let's go ahead, level that out. And 10,000 feet. I'm tired of flying. Autopilot coming on. Bring everybody back upstairs. We're pitching down. 270 for climbs. Kill everything. Let's get everything off. Beauty. Let's see if we can get some proper views out here, shall we? Damn. Can't find anything great. Bravo Aerospace 787 is really nice, actually. I would not normally recommend a marketplace plane, but it's not a bad plane. It's not PMDG quality, but it's not bad. It's, you know, you need to have the deluxe version for it, right? And they kind of took a Sobo turd and they polished the turd, in my honest opinion, if that makes sort of sense, without disrespecting Bravo Aerospace and the work that they've done. You know, I think it's, for what it is, you know, for Xbox users, it's probably a great choice. I know Owls loves the Bravo Aerospace 787, and he flies that thing and makes it look phenomenal. But I haven't pulled the trigger yet. You know, I'm considering. You know, I think Owls is going to be doing another live stream tonight in it. I could be wrong. I can't remember what he posted, but I'm warming up to the idea. And it's, you know what, it's $20. You know, it's $20. I guess that's sort of the winner for me. That's probably why I would buy it, only because it's $20. Don't forget, ladies and gents, smash down that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. We're at 5 likes on today's live stream. Let's see if we can get that shit up to 10 likes. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, kill some of these sounds. And I'm going to put some tunes on. Okay, so I'm picking from Epidemic Sounds. I'm just going to pick the staff picks. It's our favorite tracks right now, updated weekly. Let's have a listen. Nice little beautiful departure coming out of here. Let's have a look, see what the aircraft's doing. Make sure she's behaving. go ahead and we'll select heading mode. Click on this guy and it swings that heading knob over. I love that about this aircraft. I really love that. 17,000 feet. Standard pressure is set. Hopefully I don't forget to set it once we get into Crawlin Dyke. It's 2,500 feet. Christmas is coming. Another 5 days. Christmas is here. I know my kids are excited. I've got a little story to tell you guys. Yesterday, my son lost one of his teeth. And it's funny because he was like flapping around, you know, doing one of those. Looked like a loose booger in your nose. He forgot to put it under his pillow last night for the tooth fairy. He woke up pissed, and I don't blame him. So I said, don't worry, we'll get it solved tonight. I'll call up the tooth fairy, ask her what happened. But yeah, kids, man, I'm telling you, they're excited for Christmas too. You know, we don't have any presents. We don't put any presents under the tree until they go to bed Christmas Eve. So she goes to her parents Christmas Eve. They do gifts with the kids. They'll come home. We'll put them under the tree, you know, that sort of thing. But trying to find a place to hide these freaking toys, and these toys aren't small, you know, nowadays. These are massive toys. We got no space to put anything. I got toys in my closet at the foot of my door, where all our jackets are and stuff like that. I got toys from last Christmas still under there, you know, unopened. We're gonna donate those toys, by the way. We're gonna donate them to a mother and children's. I think it's like a shelter or something like that. What did I get them? To be honest, I didn't. I just e-transferred the money. I'm not sure what she picked up, but there's probably for the boy. There's probably some Pokemon in there, some Beyblades. I know my daughter. She's into arts and crafts. She's actually really good at drawing. You know, let me see if I can put something here on the cam, just to kind of give you an idea. She did this since she's in grade 2, by the way. So my son and my daughter are 1 year apart in school, but they're 22 months apart. So in grade 1, my daughter drew something. I couldn't believe it. Grade 1. That's not a trace. That's not a... She didn't trace any of that. Shaded everything. 6 years old. So we got her doing the arts and crafts thing. Keep that going. You know, who knows where that will take her. Become a famous painter one day, a tattoo artist, whatever the case is. You know, when you see talent like that at such a young age, you got to make sure you capitalize on that. So everything, you know, we got her everything arts and crafts. Obviously some dolls and things like that. Yeah, you really gotta, you know, you see a talent in them at the boy. To be honest with you, right now, he's just a boy. He's a typical boy. Likes to beat up on his dad. He likes to play fight. You know, he's into racing and cars and all that kind of stuff. But her, crazy, ridiculous at drawing. She's always there drawing, doodling, sketching. She's 7 years old. She's going to be 8 years old in a couple weeks. January 11th. Better than you? Better than me for sure, man. Better than me for sure. I don't like this song. But yeah. And then we got a birthday coming up. So I got my girlfriend's birthday on the 28th. And then my daughter's birthday on the 11th. It's kind of tricky. You know, we try to figure out what to get her for Christmas, what to get her for her birthday. You know what I mean? We try to prioritize kind of what she wants. You know, I don't want to give her something, you know, that she really wanted on Christmas on her birthday. You know? Stand by, stand by. I'm gonna order myself some lunch. Just don't know what. One sec. I gotta take this phone call. Always working even when I'm not actually working. Gotta love that. Really want to go back to Hawaii. Right before COVID, me and the girlfriend went to Maui. We flew via Seattle on Delta on their A330neo. Hawaii's very expensive, man. If you can afford it, go for it. I don't think I'll be going there anytime soon. But definitely in the simulator. To be honest with you, Hawaii, you know, going into Honolulu, I have the Builds Honolulu. Never flown into it. Now that there's an A330 out, a CEO out in 2024, we could probably do some flights with Hawaiian. You know? Problem is, it's like crossing that body of water is 5 hours, right? It's a long haul. Would love to go. I know WestJet operates flights with, they fly out of Vancouver, I believe, to Maui. Kahului. And I think Air Canada is still operating flights to Honolulu. From Toronto. I think so. Not quite sure, to be honest with you. Where I really want to go, I want to go to Bonaire. I absolutely want to go to Bonaire. I was watching some... When I discovered this airport, I started looking at some YouTube videos of people traveling to Bonaire, and holy smokes. It's beautiful. It's expensive, though. What's going on, Carlos H? Soto left us. I'm sorry. I'm wearing a Yankees hat. I'm not even a Yankees fan, so I could really give two craps about the team. I'm a Jays fan at heart. I love the logo. I love the logo. It's an iconic logo. But yeah, Juan Soto going over to the Mets. You know, obviously, you know, these guys are gonna chase the money. You know, they're gonna chase the money. I'm sort of still sour about Ohtani not signing with the Blue Jays, but. You know, remember there was a whole big ordeal. Ohtani, he's on a flight to Toronto. That plane was, you know, tracked by like 20,000 people. I think there was a Shark Tank guy on that jet. And it was a whole big ordeal. That really broke my heart that Ohtani didn't come. But, you know, Toronto's got no market. You know what I mean? Good luck keeping Vladdy. Juan Soto, obviously, you know, the money, man. It's the money. Who's going to pay the most? You know? It was 2 hours, 30 minutes from Jacksonville to Denver. And from Denver... it was like 1 hour-ish. And then from Seattle to Maui, it was like 5.5 hours. Yeah, that's pretty much like Borders, BC. It's about the same time. I guess there's no direct flights out of Jacksonville to Hawaii. Obviously kidding. I'm surprised there's no... Is there direct flights from Denver to Hawaii? Probably with... Maybe with Hawaiian or maybe United or something. Should be coming up to cruising altitude. There we go. Another 1,000 feet. Vipers Racing 2024 crashing. For some, not for all. The A300 is crashing. Apparently, the A300 Premium or something like that. I booted it up the other day just to confirm everything was still working. I gave it a couple weeks since I flew it last. I know they did some hot fixes and things like that. It worked beautifully for me. Worked beautifully. I gotta say though, the photogrammetry looks like fucking garbage. Looks like garbage. But I was testing out some scenery. Testing out the Phoenix. Finally, I could take off in the Phoenix. 100 frames per second. Minimum. At the bare minimum. Some Western music that we're listening to right now. Still wasting time 2024 sim. What are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? Still got 2020. You know, Any Builds now is gonna be releasing an A350 for 2020. Yeah, but not to Maui, only to Honolulu. The only airline that flew to Maui was Delta from either LAX or Seattle. Ah. Got you. I mean, I guess if you're flying to Maui, you want to fly to Maui, right? You don't want to fly to Honolulu and then get on a Southwest flight. In what sim, Viper? In 2024? I don't think the A380 is compatible for 2024. About 44 miles from Karam. I'm just gonna start planning. Damn. I'm gonna start planning. Do I have an outside view for this thing? I don't think so. No. I'm gonna start planning my top of descent here since there is no VNAV. So it looks like at EMOMA you got to be above 2,500. So let me do my math. If we're at 33,000 feet and we subtract 2,500, we got to lose 30,500 feet. If we multiply that by 3, 91.5 nautical miles is where we got to plan pretty much our top of descent. Beautiful. So we'll do 70 miles from Rogna. We'll start descending at about a 3-degree path angle. That's probably why the A380 is crashing, because it's not meant to run at 24. Exactly. Start with that, Viper Racing. Don't use the AnyBuilds A380 in 2024. ...2024 is super unstable. You can only use compatible stuff with it. Even some airports that aren't... Like, if you go on Sim Market, or if you go on, like, Orbex, it'll tell you if the scenery is 2024 compatible. Even bringing over some scenery that's not compatible, some do work well. Some don't work at all. But when it comes to aircraft, I wouldn't waste your time. Be right back. Let me just go grab a drink. Yeah, Viper, I don't think it matters your setup. It's the aircraft is the problem. Not every aircraft is compatible. Not every scenery is compatible for 2024. You got to know that, right? Regardless of what PC build you have, if it's not compatible, it's going to crash. It's not going to work. Exactly, Sam. Exactly. I wonder when Flight Sim Studios is going to implement the VNav. I mean, at this point, I feel like... I mean, I know that they're in the process of doing it. I just feel like it's on the back burner. I don't even know if it's going to come out. I don't even know if it's going to come out. I don't... What do you mean, Viper? I think don't buy Ryzen, correct? What does that mean? Right now, Ryzen is the stuff you want to buy. You're comparing Ryzen to Intel. You just gotta be patient and give the devs time to make their stuff into the new sim. Don't just assume everything is going to work. Exactly. Give it 3 to 6 months. Should be a good to go. You know what I mean? A good to go? No, should be good to go. $2020 is still perfectly usable. In some cases, 2020 is super stable. There's a lot of great add-ons for this sim at the moment. Great aircrafts you can still fly. You know, don't delete 2020. Keep it until 2024, and Asobo figures things out for 2024. Always have it in the, and then once everything's sort of done and dealt with, then you can start worrying about getting rid of the sim. Right now, a lot of developers are making scenery compatible for 2024. And it's actually moving pretty quick. There's a lot, like I went through I have a folder dedicated for all my add-ons. I keep my community folder pretty much, when it comes to the scenery, whatever scenery I'm flying in the live stream is all that's in my community folder. So I have a dedicated dedicated folder for all the add-ons, and I was going through each and every single one of them. Didn't go through every single one of them, but pretty much I would say 60 to 80% of the scenery I was going through has a 2024 compatibility download. Fly Tampa, they got a couple sceneries that are 2024 compatible. I think they had said in their forums Toronto's not compatible for 2024. I know Boston is. I think Sydney is. If it's not Sydney, there is another one. And I believe they're gonna have a small upgrade fee for compatibility 2024 compatibility. It's kind of weird. If some scenery is already working for it, I don't know why you want to charge, but the amount of crashes I have had on 24 is ridiculous. I could count the amount of CTD I have had on 2020 on like 3 fingers. Yep. Crash the desktops don't happen in 2020. Even like in the earlier stages when a lot of people were reporting them, never had them. I did a live stream a couple months back. We did Thursday nights in Toronto on VATSIM, Toronto to Ottawa, and I'm pretty sure I crashed the A319. I didn't crash the aircraft. The sim crashed once I hit top of descent or something like that. And that was like probably the first crash in 4 years. When this guy says 70 nautical miles, we're going to start our top of descent. Hopefully, if my calculations are correct, we should hit Imoma just maybe 10 miles before the respected altitude. We are headed back to Santo Domingo. Don't worry, we're doing 2 legs today. The weather right now in Crowlandike is the winds are 110 at 14. Pretty normal. If you haven't flown into Bonaire before, I don't know what it is, but the winds are pretty much always down the runway. It's probably because you ran out of VRAM. Phoenix uses a lot of memory, especially in the new sim. No, this was in 2020 when I had the crash with the Phoenix. Toronto to Ottawa was in 2020. We're going to get back into the Phoenix too. I can't wait. I want to do some flying in 2024. My RAM 5600 megahertz DDR5. Going to hold off until they really can get 24 decently running. I'm more than happy with 2020. I could basically do all the flights I do with the Phoenix in 2020. Absolutely. That's a fact. That's a fact. For me, I want to see more of the night visuals. You know, the clouds especially. The night lighting. Got your space heater on, Tyler Rocks? Yeah, I got mine on too. It's a little cold in my my laundry room. I got the space heater kind of blowing into it. Because it gets really cold out here. It's pretty much the laundry room's sort of right by the front door and the garage. Garage is really cold. My 4090 is my space heater. It's pretty funny. You have it on because you're sick? Keeping you warm? Should drink some tea. Get some, like, lemon and ginger tea. You know? Some organic ones, too. Shit's potent as hell. Let that ginger kind of soothe the throat. Or you can get, like, a lemon, honey, and ginger tea. Or if you're wild, you can just have ginger tea. Tea's really good for you. Especially when you're sick. Being sick sucks. I always get the shivers when I get a cold. Even if it's like 78 degrees outside, I'll still shiver. Yeah, that can happen. That can happen. When I went to Florida, went there sick. Super sick too. Drove down there with a fever and all that. And the whole 2 weeks we were out there, I was just sunbathing, going into the ocean. Every time I went into the ocean, all that congestion just like released out of my face. It's the best feeling ever. Another thing too that you can also do to sort of help build your immune system. I eat a lot of vitamin C Jameson tablets. And they also have oregano tablets too. Just swallow them. Literally smells like a fucking bottle of oregano. It's the nastiest thing ever. But super, super beneficial to your immune system. Start planning for our top drop here. We'll come over to the perf tab. We're going to come over to the landing tab. And we'll plug some numbers in. Runway heading is going to be 104. Landing temp, it's a beautiful 32 degrees with scattered clouds at about 1,900 feet. We're going to do a flaps 5 departure, and the winds are 110 at 14. Again, pretty standard. Right down the runway pretty much. Should be pretty straightforward. We got all of that plugged in, and trans alt is 2,500 feet, so hopefully we remember to set that. We are going to drop down to 2,500 feet, not quite yet though. Once we're about 70 miles out from Rogna, we'll start that descent, and we'll set this guy over to low. Or we'll go medium just because we want to get off the runway as soon as possible. Pretty healthy. I work out daily after work and on the weekends, and I run also on the weekends. I haven't been to the gym since just before I had my first daughter. My first daughter? Got one daughter. Since I had my daughter when... close to 8 years ago. I was a good-looking young lad back then. I was decently sized. You know, I played a lot of hockey, a lot of baseball. I was a big guy. I'm not overly tall, but, you know, when I was 22, 23, I was about 190 pounds built. And then I got up to the 230 mark, you know, eating pizza. Could be worse, though. If I wasn't a mechanic and on my feet all day, probably would have been bigger. It's because of all the junk that I eat. Just so easy to access fast food nowadays, especially with Uber. I got fast food coming right now. I guess it's a little bit more healthier than typical fast food. I got some Greek food coming. But that's the biggest problem, the biggest challenge. And then going to the gym, who the f has time for that? Not me. You can bench 250. It took me 3 years to be able to lift that weight. Hard work pays off, man. I don't think I was ever... I think I was maybe when I was at my peak, probably benching that. Ain't no way I'm doing 2 plates right now. Ain't no way. Another 30 miles, ladies and gents. We'll be down in Crollandike, Bonaire. Pretty cool looking place. They got to work on the scenery out here too. The scenery is not, you know, that great in the sim. Another couple minutes, my food should be here. Minimums. What are our mins? 340. .340 bug dance sets. Beauty. Coming up on top of descent. I'll be right back. I'm gonna start that top and drop. We're close enough. Let's get this guy down 3 degrees. Beauty. Absolutely beautiful. Let's go ahead and kill the tunes. Let's get this guy back up. Kind of sucks that Lynx Air went bankrupt. I kind of wanted to fly their MAX from Calgary. Yeah, they went bankrupt. I think it was like earlier this year. I seen their final departure out of Toronto on my way to work that morning. They did the final flight. I think it was Toronto to Calgary. Boots here. Alright. We'll let that sit there. Captain's gonna eat once we get deboarding. Looking good, ladies and gents. Auto brake set over to medium. It's a decently sized runway, but we've got to backtrack on the runway, so it kind of makes sense. Medium brakes. Minimum set to 340. Altimeters. Transalt is at 2,500 feet. Sending down to 2,500 feet. Currently, that's where we got to be once we hit Imoma. Hopefully all things are going to go well. We got some good runway, some good headwinds coming into Bonaire. I think the winds are 110 at 16 or something like that. Try to make for a nice buttery smooth landing, you know? That's the plan. This aircraft's a work in progress, you know what I mean? It's not easy to fly, you know. I like to show it off on my channel just because, you know, I think it's one of those aircrafts that deserves a little bit more attention. There's some people not having the VNAV ready. making other aircraft, you know, prior to finishing a product. You know, I guess this is kind of a slap in the face to the people that spent the money, you know, but at the end of the day, different aircrafts to fly in the sim is always... It's always pretty good when you have options, you know what I mean? I much prefer flying this over the CRJ. Don't like the CRJ. Apparently there's an update in the works. See what happens. We'll see what happens. And again, if you're just tuning in, we are heading back to Santo Domingo. Once we start deboarding in Crawlin Dyke, I'm gonna eat my lunch quickly. And then we should be back up in the air, probably in about 40 minutes time. Now at Rogna, according to the charts, we gotta be below 10,000 feet. I don't know if we're gonna hit that. We're setting at about 2,100 feet per minute now. We're gonna be pretty close. And I'll switch this guy over so we can control our speeds manually. While I'm here, I'll set my heading 104. Final approach course heading. Looking good, looking good. Don't forget, ladies and gents, if you haven't done so, smash down that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you have not. We're pushing for 10 likes on today's live stream. We also have a Discord. Don't forget to go down to the Discord, get yourself familiarized with it. We have a moderator in the background, somebody from the flight sim community, Talal. He's kind of running. He sort of built the Discord. I didn't really have shit going on, and he's got everything kind of working for me. So big shout out to him, keeping that thing going. You're posting some things such as some landing videos. You can post, you know, whatever you want. Go for it. Passing 17,000 feet. You can see the island right there. And you can actually see the coast of Venezuela right there. So that's how close we are to South America. Very close. Like I said, it's a very unique spot. It's known for its scuba diving and its coral reef. If you're into that kind of stuff, this is the place you want to go. This and Belize are the two top most popular scuba diving spots for coral reef sightseeing. A lot of people travel to Bonaire because it's very quiet. Not a lot of people come here. The tourism out here is not that busy. I don't know why. I don't know why. And you can see Aruba. That's Aruba. The airport is somewhere at the bottom of Bonaire. Somewhere down here. I think. Could be wrong. Look at all those, what are those? Scratches and bug guts. Look at the detail on the windshield. It's actually pretty cool. See some of that stuff. Maybe a little bit excessive. And there's no speed restrictions coming in. We're gonna go as fast as we can. There we go. We're pretty much turning down base. We should have more classic planes in the sim, like a 727. I think, isn't there a 727 by Flight Sim Studio? I believe there is. Apparently it's really good. Apparently. I don't fly them type of things. Let's get that speed down. 250 knots. Yes, there is, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Developers of this aircraft made a 727. It's been out for a while now. There's 10,000 feet. We'll get these guys on. It is a freighter version, yeah. Correct. Dirkster, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Flight Sim community, Flight Sim gaming community. We're just, we're on the approach into Bonaire. We're descending to 2,500 feet, passing about 8,000 feet currently. You can see the island off to our left here. It's going to be a nice, beautiful arrival. The winds are 110 at 14. So, for the most part, a nice, decent headwind. It shouldn't be anything too spicy, too crazy. I think they're thinking of adding the PAX version for the 727. I think so, too. Also, I find it funny that they can bring VNAV to the 727, but can't do it for the E175. Is there a VNAV in the 727, though? I don't think there is, man. I don't know. Is there? I think a different developer worked on that one. I have the E-Jets, but nor flown them in a while. Yeah, we just took it out of the hangars not too long ago. It's, you know, it flies decently. You know, something different. I didn't think so either. To be honest, I don't know. 727, when I seen how many freaking gauges are in that thing, I was like, nope. What's going on, Enrique? Appreciate you. No, there is no VNAV in the 727. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Definitely not for me. It's got too many gauges in there, and let's get the speed down to 210. Too many things going on. It's very, like, old school. It's more of a modern guy. I like the modern look. It's easier for me to see and follow things, you know. Didn't they have 3 pilots flying that aircraft, though, in real world? Like, they had a guy working the back, working some switches in the back or something. My uncle, who unfortunately passed, he used to work on the Delta 727 fleet way back. I don't know who's still flying the 727. Is there still a 727 flying around here in North America? I really like them, even without the missing VNAV, but I think it's a shame that we can't even enter flight level for waypoint, even as part of our own descent planning. That would be pretty cool if we could have something like that. Or the other thing that pisses me off is how they draw in the waypoints in here. If you see my last live stream, we flew into Jacksonville, and it just... when shit gets hella messy like that, for me, I just vector myself in and around. The 727's never had VNAV. I was an old school, yes, flight engineer in the back for the engines, fuel system. Yeah, there's 2 guys flying, and there's 1 guy flying in the back. It's pretty crazy. Here's the island of Bonaire. Small, tiny little island. The approach into Jacksonville can be tricky. It's very steep sometimes. Yeah, there's a lot of things I try to avoid with this aircraft. Yes, it's creative at times, drawing those paths in the nav display. Yeah. Pain in the ass for sure. It's the altimeter out here in Crowland-Dyke, Bonaire. 1009er. Sounds are great on the E-Jets though. To be honest, I wouldn't, like, it does sound very healthy. I wouldn't know what it sounds like in the real world, but listening to V1 simulations fly this aircraft, he says it's like, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. Yeah, me neither. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna set that barrel. We're gonna go 10, what did I say, 1009? PMDG can learn a thing or two about sounds from the iFly Max. Yep. Yep. Told you, man. You gotta hire Boris all the way. I don't think FSS has the capability to create VNAV for their aircraft. It is extremely difficult and requires great programming skill, which I don't believe they have. Well, I know they're working on it. I know they're working on it. It's just whether or not we'll see it. Couldn't tell you. Alright, we're going to be at 2,000 at Miver. That will put us out about 5 nautical miles. So, I'm actually going to go ahead. Let me get concentrated here. We'll go flaps 1, speed 190. So, Miver, we got to be at 2,000. From there, mins are 340. I'm going to get this guy down to... we'll get it down to 500 feet. Once we hit Miver, I'm going to do a descent at about a 3-degree flight path angle. What's going on? The scenery looks a little... We'll go flaps 2, 170 on the speed. Yeah, I fly sounds with Boris. Fucking hell. This runway is very hard to see, too. It's very hard to see poppies. It's just a very white runway. I don't know. Very white runway. VNAV is the most complicated part of any plane to be able to simulate that requires a lot of coding skill. Yep. We'll go ahead, gear down. And we're passing Miver, so let's go ahead down to 500 feet at a flight path angle. 3 degrees. Should put us on a nice healthy descent. We'll go flaps 3. It's 160 on the speed. Just to confirm, we want 141 plus 5. And we'll get configured right now for it. 146, go ahead. Flaps 4. Phoenix has the best VNAV in my opinion, never had any issues. Nope. I agree. And flaps 5. Beautiful. Gear down 3 green, flaps 5 indicated, ladies and gents. We are about 1,300 feet above the runway. I mean, above the ground, sorry. We're descending. Like I said, very hard to see any pappies here. Enjoy the arrival, friends. Let's get it down on the ground. I'll take control once I start seeing some pappies. Yes, Sam, we are going back to Santo Domingo. 1,000 check. My aircraft.
Throttle.
My throttles. Do my best. Hopefully I can see some pappies very soon. I think we're getting a little bit high. Told you. Can't see the runway.
Approaching minimums. 400. Minimums.
Continue.
300.
Getting a little blown away. Set her down nicely. First coming out. Nose down gently. Maintain center line. It's the best I can do. First green. $70 knots. Reverser stowed.
Auto brake.
Manual braking. Bring you guys back up top. Not too bad. Not too bad. Get this thing spun around here. It's a really bright fucking runway. I don't understand. Get those guys clean up. And we'll go ahead and get this guy on. And I think I'm looking for stand 5. Let's see if GSX is working. Yes. Not a bad little landing. This aircraft is, what stopped me from flying this aircraft before was just how heavy it felt on touchdown. But now it's super buttery smooth. The E190 E2 can fly up to 8 hours apparently with a reduced payload. Yeah, I could probably fly to London from where I am. There's a little WestJet aircraft parked up here. Not sure if WestJet flies in here. I don't think they do. So I don't know why. This aircraft is... That aircraft is static part of the scenery, by the way. 1 hour, 4 minutes. I think we're going here. We'll get this guy off. We'll get that guy off. WestJet in the wrong hood, my friend. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Don't know about that one. I'm gonna deboard, and I'm gonna put some tunes on. I don't know if the cargo doors are gonna open. This is a bug with the aircraft at the moment. I'm gonna have my lunch, and then we'll get this thing out. Back out to Santo Domingo. We'll be doing another RNAV approach out there. Wasn't paying attention. My apologies. Parking brake coming on. The APU is on. Let's go ahead. Shut her down. Request deboarding. We'll come upstairs here. We'll get this guy off. This guy's coming off. Let's go ahead and kill these guys. Get that guy on. Hopefully. Shut that guy off. And this thing's going to start yapping at us. Hopefully the door's open. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Unsure about cargo doors. Don't think they're going to open, and you can see the GPU is floating up top there. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. Alright, friends, I'm going to turn down the GSX sounds. This way it's not yapping at us. Like I said, it's broken with the cargo doors. I'm going to go grab my lunch. I'm going to go eat it quickly. I'll be back. Give me about 5 minutes. Santo Domingo is a fun word to say. Santo Domingo. A little bit of Italian there. Let's go ahead and kill some sounds to get the tunes back up. I shall be back.
scared. Yeah, that's the only truth. How they coming for you? Yeah, yeah, Lorito, dime si te acuerdas cuando estaba aquí. Purple flowers, escuchando a Takiti. Ey, siempre en mi mente cuando piense en ti. Hablándome en otro idioma, sí, baby. Ey, 사랑한다고 말해줘. 사랑한다고 말해줘. dímelo lento, baby, más lento. 사랑한다고 말해줘.
사랑한다고 말해줘. Give me up when I give me 아마 수기수처럼 나잖아. We can take it slow. Banging on the despacito flow. 반에서 처음 봐서 baby 혼자 있어 yeah. 시간 있어 여기 나가 술 좀 마시자. 밖에 놀아라면 먹자 아직 집에 가지마. You could tell me anything 요즘 너만 생각해. porque 너무 뭔가 봐 답이 계속 나누는 버릇한 들어봐. You and I 늦었지만 better now than never baby alright. 반응해 on my mind 말해줘. Do or die 문제라면 baby know I got the answers tonight yeah.
Dime si te acuerdas cuando estaba aquí. Purple flowers, escuchando a Takiti. Ey, siempre en mi mente cuando piense en ti. Hablándome en otro idioma, sí, baby. Ey, 사랑한다고 말해줘. 사랑한다고 말해줘. dímelo lento, baby, más lento. 사랑한다고 말해줘.
And you got me singing You been doing a lot 나 지금 들어가 너 집에 있잖아 yeah 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 좋아하니까 been crushing you a lot 너도 좋아하잖아 yeah yeah yeah
Estoy enamorado, siempre estás contigo. Purple flowers, baby, you know what I need. Tus flores, flores morado. Flores, flores morado, baby. Dime si te acuerdas cuando estaba aquí. Purple flowers, escuchando a Takiti. Ey, siempre en mi mente cuando piense en ti. Hablándome en otro idioma.
Alright, I'm back. Thank you for letting me eat. Up with that GPU though, yep. Definitely possessed. I think that Enemy Builds did the right thing by making the A350 available for both sims. This way it's not forcing people who are not ready to transition over into the new sim a transition over into the new a chance to try the airplane. I think they've realized this sim's not going away, you know, anytime soon, and that was probably the smartest decision that they had to make. My frames are looking a little bit sussy too. I don't know. That's not normal. Gonna get myself set up here. Stand by.
She wanna know me, I stay low key, all gas, no brakes, baby, let them hoes sleep. Body on 10, make your girl OD. I get in my way, never out of my lane. Feel like you the one and I'm on one. So what it's gonna be? Baby, squad up, we finna go deep. Riding on a team, got what you need. Baby, won't you keep me company? Give me something to do when I get lonely. I got something for you when we get home. If you let me put it down. When I hit the town, you should ride on me. Keep your minds on me. On try, baby, I think you should side with me. Stay solid one time if you lie with me. Just promise you never lie to me. Keep the moves on tuck. I know it's all love. Everything good. Keep the vibes on crush. I know it's all good. Know it's all love. Know it's all love.
Pretty well set here. Let's jump in this thing. And while that thing's spinning, let's get set up here. Let's get the f out of here. Back over to good old Santo Domingo. More impressed by how that the GPU is able to defy gravity. It's wild, right? We'll keep that off for now. We'll come upstairs here. Let's go ahead and reload. Get those passengers going. Fit details. Let's go ahead and close this off. Close that off. We'll add a new flight. We're sky high 961 service from Bonaire back to Santo Domingo. We're departing runway 10. It is dry. Flaps 1 departure. Calculate. We'll load that and we'll send that. Beauty. Come back to the root tab here. We got to go ahead and we got to delete the old root here. TNCB, Tango November Charlie Bravo. We're headed over to Santo Domingo. Mike Delta, Sierra Delta. The call sign is Sky High 961. Check flight ID. Thank you. Crazy music. Flight plan received. We're departing off of runway 10, and I believe we are on the Polka 1 Romeo departure. We'll go ahead and apply that. We are planning the RNAV 35 approach coming into Santo Domingo from Take it from Odd Fog. And the Carib. Is it 2 Golf? Carib 2 Hotel. Carib 2 Hotel. Apply. Have a look at these waypoints. Gotta make sure the waypoints are weighing. Beautiful. SD305, Otvog. Beauty. Perf in it. Perf in it. 181 / 200. We're cruising up to 360. 254.21 is the average cruise winds. Lovely. Takeoff data set. What does it say here? Anti-ice is off. We have flex is off. But it's 31 degrees. Takeoff 1. Takeoff 1. 31 degrees. Runway heading is 104. The weather, the winds are 110 at 14. Go ahead, we'll bug that in there. Flaps 1 departure. And our speeds are 28, 32, 43, 87. 128, 132, 143, 187. Transition is 2,500 feet. Beautiful. Struggling here, ladies and gents. 17,000, I think, back in the DR. 17,000. Bug that in. Looking good. All this stuff should sort of be relatively set up here. We're going to go ahead and we'll cycle the flight directors. We'll go 187 on this guy. Excuse me. And I don't think there's any... No altitude, nothing. So we're just going to go right up to 360. The I think that's about it. Our heading's already bugged in there. We have our altimeter set. And we'll let GSX finish doing GSX things. Sporting complete. Baggage unloading in progress. That's really it. That's all she wrote. Any flights planned for South Africa? Yes. Yes. It's funny, I was going over what I wanted to do over the weekend. I opted for a flight with Southwest. We're going to fly out of Dallas Love Field up to Nashville and back. That's going to be probably tomorrow night. But Sunday, I believe I said Sunday we were going to fly. There was a flight request in Discord. It was Barcelona over to Sofia, and then it changed. So I just did a quick flight there just to make sure everything, sort of worked in the Phoenix, and it did. But I was thinking of flying out of Joburg. I just don't know where we would go. I just don't know what sceneries are compatible. I think GSX is broken. Looks like all the baggage is complete. Baggage unloading in progress. Looks a little broken to me. Prepare for push. We get that guy on. There was also some good scenery that came out in Ethiopia. Addis Ababa is finally available. I think it was done by... Who did I say it was done by? Borelli. I think it was Borelli add-ons or something. It looks decent. And it's 2024 compatible. So there's a chance maybe we can fly out there. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. If there's any flight, you know, requests, don't forget to drop that down in the Discord. Let me know kind of where you guys want to see us fly over here. Joburg to Cape Town or Joburg to Nairobi. The Nairobi one will be a long one. So if we're going to go to Nairobi, it's only going to be one leg. Cape Town, I think, is doable. Maybe with South African in an A320. I know they operate a lot of E-Jets out there as well. It's in Ethiopia. Addis Ababa. Ethiopia. So if we're flying to Addis Ababa, I think... we would probably fly to Nairobi. Maybe like Jeddah or something. Just make sure our APU is 100. Let's get rid of this guy. We'll come upstairs here. Get this guy on. This guy coming on. And use quick edit pushback. Parker brakes being released. I'll go ahead and turn GSX back up again.
Start at will.
Start at will. Make sure I got my trims are trimming. 2.2, 2.2. My African geography sucks if you can't tell. It's okay. Addis Ababa is a pretty big airport. It was one of those sceneries. A lot of people in the community were wondering, like, why isn't it out there yet, you know? It's done by Borelli. To be honest, I don't know who that developer is. I don't know. You know, it's like 16 euro. It's expensive. So I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to go ahead and purchase that one. But it's a new place, you know.
Please set parking brakes.
Parking brakes are set. All I know is I want to go back in the Phoenix for a little bit. Do some flights in it. See where we go. Let's see if engine 1's going to stop starting.
Unlocking gear.
She decided to start up. Good job, good job.
Bypass being removed. Left is clear, right is clear. Some pretty good sounds. Never heard that stuff before. Two good engines, APU coming off. We gotta get these guys on. Thank you so much. Let's get those guys on. And let's go ahead. Flaps. Flaps 1. Auto throttle coming on. TCAS. We'll make sure we are TCASing. Have a good trip. APU shutting down. Give her a second. Let her cool off, you know. But yeah, unsure why there's a WestJet static aircraft parked here. No idea. Makes me feel like I'm at home, you know? Alright, parking brake coming off.
Takeoff okay.
It's going to be a very short taxi to the runway today. Do you know if that confiscated Russian, the AN-224 is still there? Yes, it's still there. See it every time I go out there to the airport. It's parked right beside the 427, one of the highways. John Doherty, hello, hello. What throttles are you using? I have the Bravo and can't bind the reverse thrust. I followed the directions they had for doing it. In which aircraft? And I use the Honeycomb Bravo throttle Quadrant. That aircraft's not going to be moving. There were some talks about the Canadian government releasing it to the Ukrainian government. That shit's been grounded for, it's going on 4 years. Just imagine the amount of work it's going to need to get it airworthy again. The E-JETS. Nothing's really... Hold on, let me spin this around. Let me see what my settings are. I don't typically calibrate anything. I've never calibrated throttles in this aircraft. So let me get situated on the runway here. I'll open up some settings and we'll have a peek. Decent. Parking brake coming on. We'll come upstairs. Let me get the rest of these lights on. And this guy. Okay, so controls. Bravo throttle jets. Let me see if I can search. That's all I got. Snap a photo of that. And see if that works. So I got joysticks 10 plus 11 bind. That's it. That's all I have. In the actual aircraft, I am using... They look like this. They're just default. I've never set them or anything like that. I hope that helps. Alright, ladies and gents, enjoy the departure. Climbing up to 36,000 feet. Parking brake coming off. Throttle's going up 40%. Let's get it. The winds are 110 at 14.
knots.
8 knots checked. Very sensitive right now with the rudder.
E1, rotate.
E1, rotate. Oh yeah.
Positive rating.
Gear going up. Get those rudders back in. Flight level change. We'll get the speed up to 200. And we're going flaps 1. It's getting a little bumpy. And we're going 2,500 feet. Standard pressure set. We're flying, ladies and gents. We're flying. They said to use toggle. I'm guessing Flight Sim Studios did. I've never adjusted any of these settings. So all these settings, they work for all of my aircraft. Phoenix, any of the Boeing product. Trying to really fly those flight directors. It's really, I don't know if it's the wind. Generally don't set up throttles unless it's required. I do, however, have a realistic side stick profile for the Phoenix A320. And let's go ahead, autopilot, bring everybody back up top here. Let's go ahead and clean some stuff up here. Get that guy off. We'll get that guy off, and we'll get, sorry, keep those guys on, we'll get those guys off. Yeah, like I said, everything is sort of out of the box. 2024 is a whole different fucking mess when it comes to key binds and throttle binds and all that. Couldn't figure out how to set Phoenix reversers. But thank God with YouTube, you know, all the answers are out there. Hopefully that helps. And then with the Bravo throttles, it's a quick pull the reverse switches back, and then I throttle down to spool them up. Goodbye, Bonaire. That was, to be honest, a terrible takeoff. I don't know why the rudders felt so sticky. Forgot to turn those guys off. Turn that guy off for a moment. You have to set it to reverse thrust, hold keybind on your keyboard. I mean, that's if you're using the keyboard though, no? Sorry, ladies and gents, I was doing some math in my head just to determine top of descent because there's no VNAV in this aircraft. All is well, though. What does that huge volume knob looking thing do on the FMC? This thing? Oh no. Nothing at the moment. No idea. But it is modeled. I'm sure it's probably going to work with like the VNAV or something. Don't know. Unsure. Unsure. Let's go ahead. Get these guys down. Get some tunes back up, yeah? It's the eject C button for the co-pilot. Yeah, something like that, probably. There's a lot of things in this aircraft I don't know if they work or not. Like I never touch anything down here. I apologize if I'm not flying real world ops. Nav 175, I don't even know what that means. This guy's flashing at me. No idea. Looking good, friends. Looking good. We should be back in about an hour's time. I believe it's a shorter flight coming back to Santo Domingo. He reset this thing. There we go. Fantastic. See? We're learning. Beauty. I think that's Aruba. I don't know. Yeah, that's definitely Aruba. I believe all of these islands down here are part of the Netherlands, right? They're all part of like the Netherlands Antilles Islands. Call them the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. I think. Not quite sure.
I heard these labels wanna buy me. I don't need you, boo. I G's and they grind me. Now I'm on my game, nothing is the same. Who am I to blame? Money made me change. Cardi in my ring when I'm switching lanes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Now I got a buck for all those rainy days. Ain't have a day off in like 80 days. I got hustles in like 80 ways. Kids if you won't take a lazy day. Wifey want me, told me take a break. I keep going to the paper straight. Then it's trips up to Montego Bay. If I take the job, bet I get it done. I said it before, I'm a one-on-one. I just caught some ones, only wearing ones. Fornicate the funds, money made me calm. Diamonds on your neck, bet they on your neck. You want that watch, you better rock a tech. You want the chain, you better cop a vest. You want the check, but can you make it stretch?
to the stars for clues. I called the moon. Then in my wildest dreams, there was a wave, growing bigger. Now I call you force and nature. it's over and nothing else matters. I know you feel so divided. Pick yourself up again and you better start walk, girl. Open up your sloppy heel, talk, girl. You have come too far to give it up now, even though it seems there's no way out. Take a look in the mirror now.
Top of drop coming up, ladies and gents. Don't worry, I'm still here. Still kicking it. Hold on, shit. I know we're going to go down to 3,000 feet, but we have 30 nautical miles from Caribs, which means if we got to descend at 99 miles, you got to add another 70. So 70 miles from Carib, we're going to start our top of descent. About 70 miles. Might be more, might be less. Essentially, we're about 30 miles away. I guess we can go ahead and just plug everything else in. For the top drop coming up. Another 40-ish miles or so. The winds are calm. Currently in Santo Domingo. We're planning the runway, the RNAV runway 35 approach. 352 is runway heading. Currently 28 degrees. We got a few clouds at 1,600. Broken clouds at 1,800 and 7,000. Let's see, flaps 5 landing, and there's our VAP 139 plus 5. Lovely. Minimums straight in landing 510 on those guys.
I promised I would wait for you, but I'm getting so impatient. Tell me that you're ready now. This room is big enough for two, and I wanna do that something, something that will blow your mind. Do you know the things you do to me? Touch me and I'll make you understand. Yeah. Do you know the things you make me feel? I can show you if you take my hand. I just wanna dance, dance, dance with you. Let me take you under where nobody can see. I just wanna dance, dance, dance with you. Harder than the summer, so put your hands on me. Put your hands on me, on me, on me. Put your hands on me, on me, on me. Put your hands on me, on me, on me. Put your hands on me, on me, Before you, I was paralyzed, all broken down from heartbreaks. Then you came and set me free. You've taken me to paradise, where nothing is a mistake, where we move so flawlessly. Do you know the things you do to me? Touch me and I'll make you understand. Yeah. Do you know the things you make me feel? I can show you if
Set this guy down to 3,000 feet.
dance with you. Let me take you under where nobody can see. I just wanna dance, dance, dance with you. Harder than the summer, so put your hands on me. Put your hands on me, on me, on me. Put your hands on me, on me, on me. Put your hands on me, on me, on me. Put your hands on me, on me, on me, on me,
Go ahead, kill the music. Let's get our sounds back up. Beautiful. Beautiful. We can actually, we'll go ahead and we'll start our top and drop right now. FPA, wind her down 3 degrees. On that bad brother. 3 degrees is set and checked. Auto brake set to low for this one. Now, if I recall, landing in Santo Domingo, not the taxiways, the parking spots are not what they are in the sim. I think we want to go to Bravo 4 once we vacate. We'll see. Beautiful. On the approach, you can see the weather out there. Not too nice out there in the DR at the moment. Transition 17,000 feet as well. It's looking good. Samson, Stork, Match It. Hello, hello. Appreciate you tuning in. Welcome, welcome. Hope all is well. Never seen you in the chat before, so welcome. On the approach coming into Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. It's going to be pretty spicy coming in. The winds are calm, despite how the weather looks. Don't know why the clouds look like that. That to me looks like shit. We'll be going live again tomorrow evening, ladies and gents. We're flying southwest from Dallas Love Field, I believe. We're flying Dallas Love Field out to Nashville, the southwest, and then we're going to continue our Christmas giveaways. Our 4th giveaway of the month on Sunday. We're going to be in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. I'm going to fly on this plane in real life for the first time in July next year. Ooh, very nice. Where you headed? And what airline? Not many airline operators in North America operate an E190. I think JetBlue is the one up in the U.S. I believe, who's the other one? There's another one in the U.S. as well. I forget the carrier name. Airlink to Joburg. Very nice. Yeah, a lot of these aircrafts are out there in South Africa as well. One flight I was going to do in a previous live stream, but I couldn't get it to work. I couldn't get the aircraft to work. It was Joburg to, I think, Victoria Falls in the E190. At the time, this aircraft was just landing really, really hard. Decided not to do the flight. So we got a speed restriction coming up at Carib. We got to be max 250 on the speed. We got to make sure we follow these restrictions coming up. QNH is 1012. 1012 set. And checked. We'll start winding the speed back down to 250. So 250 at Carib, and then we got to hit at Sierra Delta. I think it's 305. We got to be at max 220, and then at Otvog it's max 210 on the speed. Looking good, my friends. Looking good. My favorite plane, probably the A320. Gonna say, love the A320. I love the E175. Go ahead, we'll bug up 220 on the speed. We'll get our lights on here. I hope the aircraft flies the approach properly. Doesn't look too much of a S-curve where the aircraft's going to fuck off, so let's see what happens. Get those speed brakes out. We got to be at 220. What is it? 139 plus 5 on the V app. We're flying. We're looking good. You know how to fly the A340? Nope. I don't even think there's one in the sim at the moment. I could fly the A330, I could fly the A380, A319, 20, 21. That's about it. I have a feeling this approach is going to be a little bit spicy. .340 is the 320 with 4 engines in terms of cockpit similarity. Then if that's the case, then it should be okay to fly it. I don't know what the aircraft's currently doing. This is some of the problems with this aircraft. It doesn't, the flight plan, or the flight paths typically have some issues. I don't know what the aircraft is doing. Hopefully it behaves itself. Latin VFR made an A340. Yeah, but that's Latin VFR, man. You won't see... I mean, Flight Sim Studio E-Jets are probably... I would say the worst aircraft you'll see me fly on my channel. Latin VFR stuff, I'm just not into any of their scenery. Or their aircraft. I think it's a scam, to be honest with you. Kind of sucks for Xbox users, though, because that's sort of all they have. Bug up 2,000 feet. I have a strong feeling this is going to be messy.
2500.
Check. Start lowering some flaps. We'll bug up 190 on the speed. This is an RNAV approach. Unfortunately, this aircraft doesn't fly RNAVs. We're gonna have to make it work. Maintain the speed for now. Fucking, those are the boats out there. Sitting at 2,000 feet, I'm going to go ahead and bug this down. We're going to go... The mins are 510, so we'll go 700 feet. Because there's no VNAV approach in this aircraft, I'm going to have to set my flight path angle to about 3 degrees once we start this, or once we approach Curva. Just got to see if the airplane's going to start turning. There we go. And let's go flaps 2. $170 on the speed. See the airport directly in front of us. We're about 10 miles out. Get all those guys lit up. Technically, we're not past Curva yet. I'll go 2 point, well actually we're going to go 3 degrees on that. And gear coming down. Laps 3. Why does your PC have so much RAM? That's just by choice, man. Nothing wrong with having so much RAM. Laps 4. And we're going to go 144 on the speed. And flaps 5. Looks like we're 2 whites, 2 reds. Beautiful. Gear down, 3 green, flaps 5 is indicated. Everything all set up. Ready to get this bird down on the ground. Ladies and gents, enjoy the arrival. Coming in to beautiful Santo Domingo.
1000.
Dominican Republic, 1000.
Autopilot.
Autopilot coming off.
Throttle.
My throttles.
Throttle. Throttle. Throttle.
Shut up. Let's get us back on track here. The winds are calm, so it should be a pretty straightforward landing type deal here.
Approaching minimums. 5 minimums.
Continue.
400. 200.
Sink rate.
Disregard.
Sink rate.
Disregard.
100.
Sink rate.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
First coming out. Little bounce there, I don't know why. Holy shit. And 70 knots check. Beautiful, ladies and gents.
Auto brake.
Welcome down. Welcome back to Santo Domingo. Little bounce there, I don't know. No idea what the fuck happened. We'll go ahead, we'll vacate off to the left here. And I think we want Bravo 4. Should be directly in front of us. Massive bump on the runway. Holy. We're right back to the same gates. Gotta ride the brakes the whole way through because this aircraft just wants to go. Parking brake coming on. APU is on. Let's go ahead, kill the engines. Beautiful. We'll close up those guys. We'll come back upstairs here. Beacon light coming off. We'll kill up those guys. Electric pump 8 coming off. And we'll let GSX do what GSX needs to do. Better weather here in Santo Domingo at the moment. Very nice. Very nice. Well, that concludes today's live stream, ladies and gents. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Not a bad Not a bad little spin in the E190. Not a typical aircraft that I like to fly. I like to fly the E175 more. But it's always nice to pull out these aircrafts. You know, it's... I don't know what's going on with the jetway at the moment. But, yeah, it's, you know... Flight Sim Studio E-Jets has a lot of work that needs to be done in the aircraft, unfortunately. You know, hopefully they get VNAV sort of figured out. Hopefully. I don't know. I have a feeling they're going to bring this aircraft over to 2024 faster than they'll have VNAV out. So, let's hope for the best. You know, I think we deserve to have the VNAV in the aircraft. But anyways, look out for tomorrow's live stream. We should be going live in the evening time. I'm not sure, 7 or 8 p.m. We're going to be operating service with Southwest from Dallas Love Field up to Nashville. Most likely back. It's a short flight. It's like an hour and 13 hour and 15 minute flight. So look out for that. And once again, thank you everybody for tuning in. I'll catch y'all on the next live stream. Enjoy the rest of your evening, ladies and gents. Peace.